content tomorrow. It's just a review of factoring. We were on a roll for a while where we were doing factoring for a while, like all the time, every day. But since we entered the statistics chapter, we really have not done factoring in a while. So I want to review it. I want to end strong factoring because I do believe factoring is the most important thing you learn in Algebra 1. So I kind of want to end strong. I'm going to give you a little mini assessment just to review factoring because it's super important. So when we factor a quadratic trinomial, what we need to do is we need to look at our constant term. So in this first one, the constant term is 8. So we need to think, what two numbers multiply to 8 but add to 9? Okay, so we make two sets of parentheses. We need to write m and m because m times m is m squared. What two numbers multiply to 8 and add to 9? That's 8 and 1, and both are going to be positive because 8 and 1, when you multiply them, you get 8, and then 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, next, number 2. Make two sets of parentheses, a and a. What two numbers multiply to negative 16 and add to 6? Okay, so 8 and 2 is what I'm thinking of. You just have to figure out where you're going to put the negative. So I know it's 8 and 2, and it's going to be negative 2 and positive 8 because I want to make a positive 6. Next, k and k. What two numbers multiply to 80 and add to negative 18? I'm thinking 10 and 8. You have to figure out where you're going to put the negative. Well, if you only put the negative in one place, you're going to get like 2. So both need to be negative. 10 and 8, both are negative, because remember, two negatives multiply to get a positive. And then negative 10 plus negative 8 is negative 18. Next, what two numbers multiply to negative 16 and add to negative 6? So similar to this one, but it's going to be the opposite. So we need negative 8 and positive 2 for this one instead. Negative 8 and positive 2, because negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6. Okay, this one, what two numbers multiply to negative 28 and add to 3? I'm thinking 7 and 4. You have to figure out where you need to put the negative now. Negative 7 plus 4 would be negative 3, so that won't work, but negative 4 plus 7 is going to give you a positive 3. Next, I need to think what two numbers multiply to 12 and add to 7. I'm thinking 3 and 4, and they are both positive. Okay, I'm going to flip the board. All right, next. Number 7. What two numbers multiply to 27 and add to negative 12? I'm thinking 9 and 3. Now we need to figure out where to put the negative. Well, we need them both to be negative to get to a negative 12. And remember, two negatives multiply to get a positive. Next, what two numbers multiply to 2 and add to negative 3? Well, the only two numbers that multiply to 2 are 2 and 1. And both need to be negative to get a negative 3. Okay, now this one, we're jumping to 21. I know, a little random. We're jumping to 21 because this one's a little bit different. You have a 4 in the front. When you have a 4 in the front, well, when you have any number in the front, you have to factor one of two ways. First, you need to see when there's a number in the front, can you factor that out? Can you take out a GCF here? If you can't, then you're going to go with sliding and dividing, which we learned, or factoring by grouping, but most of you like the slide and divide method. For this, though, I can see that I can actually take out a 4 from all of these terms, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to factor out a 4. If I factor out a 4, I'm left with p squared minus p minus 30. Now I have to factor this trinomial. What a lot of people forget to do is this 4 you factored out is still there. You can't drop it, so you have to keep bringing it down. What two numbers multiply to negative 30 and add to negative 1? I'm thinking 5 and 6. So 5 and 6. I need a negative 1, so I'm going to do negative 6 and positive 5. And there is your answer. Okay, so that's it. You're going to finish this sheet, and then I'm going to give you some problems on the next sheet to do as well that are more similar to this last one.